My name is David Riley. I'm 54 years of age and I'm here to tell my story. I was born in London, 1969, to Irish immigrant parents. I'm a younger brother, 2 years younger than me. We moved from the UK back to Ireland in the early 80s. The height of the trouble, English kids, a bit of confusion over where our identity stuck or whatever. Anyway, did my leaving cert in Ireland, and a week later I was on the boat back to the UK. So I was back to England, London. That would have been 87, 88, started a rave, the acid house scene more than the rave scene. You know, so got involved in that at an early stage, onto party drugs, gradually heavier and heavier and heavier, you know, and over time I realised it was really fucking with my mental health big style, you know what I mean? You know, we moved into this flat in Whitechapel about 6 weeks previous, and my brother had gone out the night before, partying, sniffing a lot of powder, a lot of alcohol, etc, 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 as 25-year-olds do on a Friday night. And I didn't do that because I was off all the party drugs 6 weeks. That says no more for me. Anyway, he came back steaming, and we'd just moved in a couple of weeks, and I was cleaning the flat, having a good old poke around, you know, and I found on top of a cupboard 6 50 mg /ml ampules of methadone. Now I had all the knowledge in the world about party drugs, but not knowledgeable about opiates. I'd never used opiates in my life, or a downer in any sense really at all, you know. So I found these ampules of morphine, of methadone, and we'd put 3 of them into a bottle of wine. Drank that bottle of wine, and we didn't really feel the effects because, as you know, methadone creeps up on you. Anyway, I went to bed, left my brother downstairs, woke up maybe an hour or two being violently ill, ran down. I felt something was badly wrong. He was in the same position. He didn't look dead. There was no blueness or anything like that, you know. But 999 again, hospital. 15 minutes after the ambulance was called, I was looking at his dead body on a slab, you know. It was an in and out job.
How old were you at this time?
I was just 27 at the time.
How old was your brother?
He was 25. You know, so we were really close, me and my bro, like we're like twins, looks wise and everything like that, you know. So, and having moved around, you know, UK to Ireland and all around, we're very, very close, you know what I mean? So that could, Pauly, it fucking knocked. I didn't know it was so surreal. It was just, I didn't know where to look, you know what I mean? And the bizarre thing was, it happened on a Saturday night, and I couldn't contact my parents until the Monday because they'd been away, and this was pre kind of mobile phone day. They were in Ireland at the time, like you see, you know. So I had to wait till the fucking Monday to tell my parents. So I was sitting with this shit on, you know, this whole horror show for like 48 hours before I could even hit them with the news, you know. So, you know, and then you get, you know, Irish families talk, and you get this negative kind of stigma, and it's a stigma that's put onto you. There's the 2 guys out of the family who do drugs, those brothers, you know what I mean? And he got his comeuppance, and that was the attitude of them, really, you know. And that was it, really. Buried my brother. I didn't want to go to the funeral. I'm not religious in any sense, never have been. I'm spiritual in maybe my own sense, but not religious. But I did go to his funeral, obviously. And he's buried in Ireland. And I went back to the UK 2-3 weeks after his funeral, and a friend of mine, inverted commas, gave me a couple of lines of heroin that completely burst the bubble of pain, grief, guilt and hurt and shame and all the other emotions I was feeling. It was brilliant, Pauly. And I'm not saying it is brilliant, but it made me feel brilliant at that painful time. Do you know? And
And it is a painkiller.
oh, completely. Life was, I could pursue life. And then I became a fully functioning heroin addict. You know, I had a job, I had a flat, you know, I was supporting myself and a missus and all the rest of it. And still, you know, smoking every day and bap, you know what I mean? And then it's smoking brown, and then the dealers are saying, well, we got a rock too for you as well, take one for free. You know the way they kind of, you know, oh, this is the East London, you know, Whitechapel. It would be one of the main heroin crack hotspots. You know what I mean? You know London yourself, you know. But
how long did that go on?
that went on from my brother died in '98. That went on for 2 years. We come back to Ireland. My girlfriend was pregnant, so had my daughter. I didn't want to bring her up in the UK, so wanted to bring her back to Ireland. Me and her mother split up pretty much about just a couple of months after my daughter was born. Anyway, I brought my daughter up until she was 16 or so, and then my daughter just decided to hook up with her mother after many years and kind of rekindle a relationship, which I wasn't going to step in, put the line across or say you can't do that. You know what I mean? You have a right to do whatever you want if it's safe, you know.
Did you bring your daughter up? Like, were you on heroin all through that?
Yes. Yeah. I had a job, everything, like, you know what I mean. I'm a welder. I can weld. You know what I mean. A variety of stuff, you know, paint spraying, all that kind of. I've got a couple of like skills. I didn't for many years. It was a nightmare. We would have to. You see, I was on the when I come back from the UK, I got on the clinic in Amiens Street. Now I'm talking early 2000s. Firstly, I was on the bus that used to go around, I think it was Railway Street or off Buckingham Street somewhere, between 12 and 12:30, and it was a fully functioning methadone bus and harm reduction thing, you know. So you know, so you got the bus and then you got onto the clinic. It was a long waiting list at the time. I think it was months and months. But at the time, getting on the methadone was a saviour. But looking back now, I wish I'd never gone near the stuff, you know, because it's completely, looking back on reflection, it's completely controlled my life, like, you know what I mean, in many aspects, you know, relationships, travel, just you know, the bullshit that goes with being on methadone, basically. And I think it's great now that the doctors are prescribing Suboxone, because it's having great results down the country. It's people I would have never thought of being clean, and I haven't been using it at all.
It's a powerful drug.
It's great, and you're a proponent for and I've seen that, like, you know what I mean. A lot of really hardcore addicts.
Are you on there?
No, I'm not, but I'm going to transition.
Good man.
Because exactly, I have to, because I've got to get off the meth. It's the only. Like, I'm off all the prescription drugs that I used to be on, you know, after doctor shopping and doing all that kind of silliness, you know. And so I smoke a bit of weed and I'm on the methadone. I want to reduce off the methadone down to, you know, that baseline of between 30 and 20 mils, and then transition to Suboxone. And then see how it goes, you know, don't race, you know, I'm 54 now, why should I race for it now, do you know what I mean?
So what's your living situation at the moment?
Well, I'm living with my mother in the family home down in Cavan, yeah, so I'm lucky, very blessed, absolutely blessed to have a roof over my head, you know what I mean? It's not a great house, but it's a fucking house. And we can heat it, and we've got food, and, you know, and we can exist. and we have a happy little home, like, you know what I mean?
So did you stop everything then?
I stopped everything. Well, just pre-pandemic, as I say, I relapsed and started using heavy for that kind of 2 years. I was using daily, you know, and then last year, was still using last year, but again, intermittently, maybe once a week, that kind of thing, you know what I mean? And realistically, it was only out of boredom, do you know what I mean?
You get having to come to Dublin for it?
No. It's everywhere now, Pauly. Like that in the early 2000s, we would have to go from Cavan, say, to Navan. That was the nearest kind of where you could score, do you know what I mean, reliably. And then it was Dublin, you know what I mean? So 2 or 3 people would plug their, you know, pool their money, one boy drive up, and that'd be the score, and bring it down, and that's what we had to do, like, you know, or go up in the bus, you know. But now it's everywhere, like, you know what I mean? Well, where I'm at now, I'm studying music production and sound technology, and I get a level, QQA level 6 for that, which gives me, like, you know, podcasting ability, just the programs. There's Ableton program, Pro Tools, different programs for sound processing. You know, there's a fully functioning radio thing, and all the facilities and stuff. So I'm doing that, which again takes up a lot of my time. So I feel once you have again a goal, an ambition, and something to get out of bed in the morning for. What have I lost? You could put it down to many things. I've lost financial losses, sentimental losses, relationship losses. You know, I was a bastard when I was on drugs, you know what I mean? A complete fucker, you know. If I wanted it, would be taken, you know. But all of those experiences have led me to look back and think, boys and girls, teenagers, this is one of the worst times in history to start taking illegal substances, because they're cut so badly with all these research chemicals, and then you have the whole fentanyl thing, which is going to come into our country, and all the other stuff they're putting into it there, you know, which is wild. So, you know, but where I'm at now is I'm clean, I'm happy, you know what I mean? I'm still in my methadone. I'm not using any street drugs, you know what I mean? So, you know, I'm just generally happy, you know what I mean? I'm happy to kind of see my mother in her last days, so to speak, or whatever, her last years, and for her to see me clean and happy and together. That's a gift I have to give to my mother before she goes, in a sense, if you know.
And do you see your daughter-in-law?
Well, my daughter's in Vancouver at the moment. She got a visa. She went over there for 2 years. She loves it over there, but she's coming back to the UK at the end of this year. You know what I mean? She liked it over there, but we talk every day, like, you know what I mean? You know, I brought my daughter up, so, you know. So we're 2 peas in a pod, me and her, like, you know what I mean?
So why did you want to do an interview?
Well, I just came across your channel, and I thought, this guy is interesting. He's got something interesting to say, yours fine self, you know, and a lot of it resonated with me, you know what I mean? Your attitude and your empathy. By Jesus Christ, the man is empathy, and you glow with it, you know. And you know, kudos for that. So watched the videos and thought, this is a guy, you know, who's been through the wars, the trenches, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I would like also to get into now the course I'm doing, the music and sound production, is just a year course. Next year I'm going to do a course in counselling and drug addiction. It's just a 1-year course, just through my lived experience, as you say. Hopefully I could give some knowledge or some education to young people, you know. It really is, it's a duty. Yes, it is our
to tell
duty.
other people, look, this is what goes on, and
It's not nice.
really,
It's no bueno, you know. It's not a happy world, you know.
David, listen, I want to thank you very much for such an open, honest and frank interview.
Thanks, Pauly.
Tragedy can bring you to a lifetime of
Absolutely, yeah. You know, people, you can look back, but you always have to look forward, don't you? You know.
Indeed you do, Brian.
And that's it.
Indeed you do. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Pauly.